From a tower of height h, a particle is thrown vertically upwards with a speed u. The time taken by the particle to hit the ground is n times that taken by it to reach the highest point of its path. The relationship between h, u, and n is. Okay, see, this is one question where I would say, the normal the methods of finding the answers will take much of time, where what I mean is, where you can't sit and explore possible ways to get into, solving the question. And having said that, I would say the very first time when I solved this question, when I was trying to solve this question on my own, see, it took me it really took me a long time to figure out the correct answer. I would say I have attempted this question at least 5 to 6 times in many ways, and it is then that we come into a conclusion to tell the students which method is the best to do. So what I'm trying to say is, when you have the solution in front of you, it becomes really simple. But when you try to find the solution on your own, it definitely becomes, it's a painful process, I would say. And most of the time, what happens is, what I see among students is, when they try 3 to 4 times or maybe 5 to 6 times, they get fed up with the question, and then it really consumes the whole way of solving. It consumes the energy so much that you don't feel like solving further problems. That's one point. So what I have to suggest is, it is if you feel so, it's a very common thing. It is meant to happen to almost a whole whole majority of students. Some of them, I would say, some of you may be able to solve this question in instant. Maybe maybe you are fast at calculations, or maybe you have practiced these kind of questions otherwise so many times that the fastest approach to this question might be very clear to you. Otherwise, if you feel that you are not able to solve the question in a single shot, it doesn't mean that you are slow, or you may be it shouldn't demotivate you in any way. It is very common, and it is there is no harm to be in such a situation. Okay, all you should do is keep this question in your mind, um, or take this challenge in a different way. If this question comes once again in an exam, or if or if a similar question comes in any other exam, will I be able to do that? Point number one. Number two, and most importantly, will I be able to do it more fastly than I was doing it, the first time I got the question? So I think that's all what should be your priority. That's all what you should be trying to answer. In fact, is my opinion. Okay. So see, many people have different opinions on them. This is what I believe. So I would suggest, see, those people who are following the playlist very regularly, you'll be able to understand that the difficulty level is now slightly increasing. It was okay so far. I mean, all the individual problems that we have done, all the questions from NEET, what we have done. But this question onwards, I would say every question, it becomes, it it takes us to a higher, it takes to a different, not a different level, yes, definitely a higher level of difficulty while solving the question, and it is very okay to be. Why? Because we are solving a JEE Mains question paper. So definitely the questions would be, the questions would take some more time to solve the questions, to find the solution. So that's pretty okay to take such time. But as you practice more, the time required to solve one question will become less. Okay. So if you're taking more time, no issues. Just keep on practicing the question, do the question a couple of times, and then do similar questions. It will definitely improve in boosting your confidence. Okay. So now let us move on to this question. From a tower of height h. So first, let us draw a diagram. Say this is the tower. I'll mark this tower as A of height h, and let me mark this height as h. Okay. So a ball is projected. A particle is thrown vertically. Okay. So a particle is thrown vertically. It goes like this with a velocity u. It reaches the maximum height, let us say b. It comes back down to the ground. It falls into the ground. Let us say that point. Okay, let me mark an intermediate point here, C, and it comes down at D. Okay. Now, what is given in the question is the time taken by the particle to hit the ground. So let me write down that fully. time taken by the particle, time taken to hit the ground, right? Time taken to hit the ground is equal to n times what? N times time taken to reach the highest point. Okay. Time taken to reach the highest point. Now what I'll do is I'll first consider the time taken to reach the highest point. See, time taken to reach the highest point, is basically time taken to reach the point B, right? Time taken to reach the highest point B, is basically time taken to reach the highest point is time taken to reach the point B, which is equal to time taken to travel distance AB, time taken to travel distance AB, right? Now, for the motion along AB, the equation of motion can be written as, first equation can be written as V is equal to U plus AT, right? Now let us say T as time AB. Okay. Now, see, when a object is projected upwards at the maximum height, the object is momentarily at rest, a point that we have discussed time and time again while solving the questions. So it's momentarily at rest, which means at this point, velocity of the particle at B will be equal to 0, which means this equation here, VB is equal to UA plus AATB, this term will be 0, right? So we have 0 is equal to U plus, what is A? Since the object is projected upwards, the acceleration due to gravity is taken minus G. So we can take minus G into TAB, right? So what is TAB now equal to? TAB will be equal to U by G. So this is one equation. TAB is equal to U by G. All right. Which means we can write the LHS of this equation as is equal to N into TAB. Now, what is the time taken to hit the ground? See, the object was here at A. It has gone this high, then it retraces the path, and then it eventually comes to D, right? So the time taken to hit the path is basically time taken to cover the distance AD, the displacement AD, right? I hope that difference is clear. The distance would be AB plus BC plus CD. We are talking about only the displacement, which means the time taken to hit the ground in terms of displacement is time taken to cover the displacement AD. Otherwise, if we're talking about distance, it should be T of AB plus T of BC plus T of CD. But here we are talking only specifically about the displacement. So time taken to cover AD as the displacement. So TAD is equal to N into TAB is one equation that we have. All right. Okay. Now, you may ask me what to do next, or for the exam point of view, what we'll be doing next, how to proceed to the next question, next part of the solution. It's very simple. What is given, what is common in all the options? We've been asked to find out H, right? The distance relationship between H has been asked. So definitely we need H. Now, what is H? For the motion along, for the motion along, or for the complete motion, right? For the complete travel, what is S? S is displacement. What is displacement? Displacement is final position minus the initial position. What is the final position? D. What is the initial position? A. So we can say that displacement is equal to dA or displacement is equal to AD, right? But there is a difference here. Why? I'll tell you. See, the object is being projected upwards, right? And the final position is against the initial direction of motion. I repeat, the initial velocity is upwards, the final position is against the initial direction of motion, which means displacement of the body will be negative. So S here will basically be equal to minus AD. Now what is AD from the question? See, AD from the question is equal to H, height of the tower. So S will be equal to minus H. Some people who are new to this may find a doubt here. I'll clear it now itself. This is the tower. If the object is projected with the velocity u upwards and if the final position is here, then what happens is the displacement is positive. But in this case, the object is projected with the velocity u upwards and the final position is downwards. So the displacement is taken as negative, right? See, these calculations, I mean, the way to take the symbols, I have repeatedly solved many problems, many similar questions. So please go through them. That will give you a more conceptual knowledge about why to take and when to take these symbols. Okay. Now, so if we write down the displacement time relation, what is it? S is equal to ut plus half at square, right? Now, what is S? We took it as minus h. What is u? U remains u alone. What is t here? T, we are talking about the complete travel. So this is t of AD plus half into, what is A? A is minus g. So this is minus g into, what is t here? T is t of AD. So this becomes t of AD the whole square. Now, oh, it's looking a bit clammed up. Okay, right. So I'll write down the equation once again here. So we have h is equal to, sorry, minus h is equal to UTAD plus minus g by 2 into TAD the whole square. So now if you go through the options, you have some related terms here. We have 2, G, H and U, right? So all the options have G, H, T and U. But what we don't have is, we don't have N, and what also we shouldn't be having in the equation is T, which means we need to eliminate TAD. Now what is TAD given to us? See, TAD we have given, it is given to us that it is N into TAB, which means again we write the equation as minus H is equal to U into, what is TAD? N into TAB minus, or say plus, minus g by 2 into, what is TAB? N into TAB the whole square. So this is minus h is equal to UN into TAB plus minus g by 2 into n square TAB the whole square. Now, does any of the options has T? No. Right, all options have G, H, N, 2 and U, but not TAB, which means now we need to include this TAB equation here. So what do we get? So what we get is minus H is equal to UN into, what is TAB? TAB is U by G plus minus G by 2 into N square into, what is TAB the whole square? That will become U square by G square. So this is further is equal to minus H is equal to U square into N by G plus minus C. Now this minus G and G square, it will become G by G square will become G. So what we have in the numerator is N square U square by 2. Now here we have denominator G and if we have 2G. So what I'll do is I'll multiply 2 in the numerator and multiply 2 in the denominator to make the denominator common. Then what we get is minus H is equal to 2U square N minus N square U square the whole upon 2G. If you cross multiply, what we get is minus 2GH is equal to, now we can take, both the terms have U square, so we can take U square, both take place of N and square. Okay, so I can take N common here, which will give you 2 minus, did I make a mistake? Right, so we get 2 minus N. And now if you multiply negative on both sides, negative 1 into 2GH becomes positive 2GH is equal to U square N into 2 minus N into minus 1 will give you N minus 2. So the steps goes like this. You multiply this whole equation by minus 1 on both sides. So minus into minus is plus. This minus will go inside. Minus 1 into 2 will minus 2. Minus 1 into minus n will be positive n. So it is 2gh is equal to u square n into n minus 2. U square n into n minus 2 is the final relationship what we get, which makes the correct option as option 2gh is equal to u square n, option D. Okay, yes, I do understand the solution was lengthy. See, because I'm not trying to solve it in the exam environment, I'm trying to make sure that every student, whoever follows the explanation, should be able to make a detailed note on how to solve the question first. So when you practice this on your own, when maybe you do it a couple of times or maybe more than that, automatically your speeds get increased. Okay, so you should not try to solve the question in a quick way. You should practice it so many number of times that it automatically becomes, it becomes natural to you that you solve the question easily. Okay, so that was a very detailed solution I've written. When you solve for the question exam, you don't need to write these solutions. All you need to get the correct answer. So trust me, you'll be able to do it more when you practice the same question or when you practice similar questions more than once. So let's move on to the next question from JEE.